daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong live for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Wealth Coffee Chat, Finance Fridays. As always, I like to start with a joke. So today's joke is: did you hear about the ATM that got addicted to money? I heard it was suffering from withdrawals. I want to say a quick hello to Jeff. Thanks for joining us this morning. My apologies to everybody that I just started a little bit late this morning. I had some technical challenges which we had to get sorted out. So thanks for your patience. Morning, Luke. Today, I wanted to actually have a quick chat, firstly about term deposits. I don't know if anybody has any term deposits and have sort of noticed what's been happening with the term deposits. But recently, both CBA and ANZ have reduced their the rate on their term deposit. Now, this can obviously be interpreted a few different ways. One of the ways that it can be viewed is that they are currently hedging against future rate cuts and mortgage competition, or they could be looking at giving them the capacity to compete harder for mortgages. So if you're either with CBA or ANZ, maybe a good time to have a chat with your brokers or the lenders to see if they've got any room to move the current interest rates for you. Now, despite that, I mean, that's a really good indication of what potentially is coming in the future. But in saying that, the RBA have still got commentary around whether there will be a rate drop this year, and that potentially there could be a rate rise considering the speed in which inflation is currently falling. So I read an article yesterday that I found really interesting. It was talking about how much your property has increased depending on the year that you've purchased. Now, what's interesting for me in regards to this is that the value of your home has increased every single year. Now, just to give you some context in some numbers, since 1995, so had you purchased your property in 1995, the value of your property would have increased 437%. And in 2000, it would have been 308%. Now, obviously, those numbers have dropped. But the number that interests me the most was even if you purchased your property last year, on average, it would have increased by 4%. So go through everything that we've gone through, even during COVID, the value of property has increased. Now, why is that important? Well, a lot of lenders assess their interest rates based on risk, meaning the more that they lend against the value of the property, the higher the risk is, which means the higher the interest rate they're going to offer. Now, a lot of times, lenders will only say the rate that you can get between 0 and 80% is the same, and then above 80% is usually where the interest rates increase. But over the last couple of years, a lot of lenders have started looking at tiering the interest rate based on the valuation of your property. And the brackets now sit 90% and above have a higher interest rate, and then the interest rates come down for loans between 80 to 90%. And then it drops further between 70 and 80, and then a little bit more between 60 and 70. And then you can get really cheap interest rates if it's only if your loan is less than 60% against the value of property. So as property values increase, you continue reducing your loan repayments and your loan balance. If you continue reducing your loan balance and the value of property increases, then you can always go back to your existing lender to negotiate the rate. So now might be a great time for you to have a conversation with your broker to see what the value of your property currently is at, and if it sits anywhere within those brackets that are lower than when you originally borrowed the loan, then it's time to negotiate. And combine that with what's been happening with the term deposits, you might be able to get your foot in the door, reduce your interest rates, accelerate how fast you can pay off your home loan, and then look at having conversation with your brokers about how to accelerate paying off your home faster using the equity that's available in your home, both through negotiations and also through some other lending strategies as well. Good evening, Kevin. Thanks for joining us again. Good morning, Rose. I wanted to share a loan deal that came across one of my team's desk over the week. One of my team came to me, and we had a client who would have been 7 different loans, and we were looking at getting a loan to finalize the purchase of would have been their 7th investment property. So client themselves are doing great, and they've been in a great position. What jumped out at me when I was looking at this scenario is that the client had cash, and they were talking to my team about using cash to purchase the investment property. And I was looking at the scenario, and the clients actually had home loan. So we were looking at some, I guess, we'd say 3rd-tier lenders, and the rates we were looking at for the clients were really high. And so I said to the team, I said to the broker, let's take a look at them using the funds to pay down their home loan, look at refinancing all their existing loans, because the interest rates were quite high, as well as the loan terms being around the 20-year mark. We were able to look at the client's situation and go from being just looking at a 3rd-tier lender to be able to look at ANZ and refinancing the whole loan with them. The reason why I share this is that I've spoken in the past in regards to, us being able to look at using cash, clients using cash to pay for investment property while they still have a home loan, and how that actually impacts the actual loan scenario. So when it comes time to lending, a lot of brokers may only look at the current deal you're trying to get lending or funding for. But the reality is that every time you are looking to borrow is an opportunity for you to review your existing loan, as well as making some adjustments so that it can increase how much you can actually borrow. And so what I want to leave everybody with today is, when it comes to lending, if we get narrowly focused on just getting the funding for a particular property, and we don't actually look at the whole scenario or your whole financial situation, then it actually could affect the lenders you can go with and actually how much you can actually borrow. So that was a great win for our clients to be able to look at that particular scenario and be able to help them. Thanks for joining me this morning. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful weekend.
Episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6 Star team here at positivementor.com.au.